Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Now we are going to talk about advanced report with web services. What happens when we have to basically connect between two endpoints? In a layman terminology, let me first explain. It will be easy for you to understand. Let's say I have to go from Delhi to Mumbai. If I have to travel from Delhi to Mumbai, I will take a path. Now that path can be anything, but I'll have to take a path. It can be an air route, it can be a road trip, but it should be a path. Now the path which is being decided, it is basically the route. And that route is basically your web services. With the help of route, with the help of web services, you travel from point A to point B and point B to point A. It is basically a medium which helps us in communication between the endpoints. You can say it's a bridge. It is a path which helps you in traveling from point A to point B or point B to point A. Why is this necessary? It is necessary because if my application or the software which I'm using like Workday is an application. It's a SaaS-based application. It's a software on cloud. Now this particular application needs to connect to any other system. If it needs connection, how can we build it? We need web services for that. We need the structure. What does this web service contain? It contains the structure of the application. Structure in the sense that what is this business object? What are the fields that it has? What kind of data it holds? If I have to send the data, basically when we communicate, what do? When we communicate between two applications, what we do is we basically send the data to a third party or we receive the data from a third party. The sending and receiving of data is only possible if you have web services. Now why it is called as web service? Because every data that travels, it travels on a web, on internet. If it is traveling on a web and that service which is helping us to travel on the web, the data to travel on the web, that's the reason it is called as a web service. It's a literal meaning of it. When we travel from point A to point B, or when the data travels from point A to point B, there is a specific format in which the data can travel. It can be in a CSV format, Excel format, PDF format, text format, whatever you want to choose, a Excel format, JSON format. These days, the commonly used format is basically XML. If we are using XML, the data will be formed in the form of XML. It gets transferred in the form of XML. It is received in the form of XML. And this format is not easily understandable because it is a very different format. It is not simple format. I'll show you when we go into the integration part. I'll show it to you. What will happen? When I have to send the data from Workday to a third party, I need some web services. Now Workday has given us certain web services which I will show you when we go into the integration. And it also allows us to make the report as a web service. Now, when I say it allows us to make the report also as a web service, it indicates that whatever data I am extracting in my report, because report also gives us data only. What I'm saying is when we travel from one point to the other on the internet. Web services helps us in traveling. Basically, it helps the data to travel from point A to point B. And there could be multiple formats of it. Now, what are the different formats? We have CSV, we have XML, we have text, we have P, FD, we have XML. And XML is the most used format. It's a global format these days. Almost every application is now using XML. When I say advanced report with web services, if I have to send data from Workday to any other system, maybe a payroll system, or let's say you want to send the data to some other system for storage, like a data center or something, you need connection between both of them. The connection established, that's the different aspect that we will see in the integration part. But once this connection established, the data moves from Workday to the third party, and if third party sends some data, it moves from third party to Workday. This is the process. Now my report also is giving me data. Correct? I have the data in the form of rows and columns. I say that whatever data is there in my report, I want to send it to the third party. Or I can build a report which the third party is requesting and send the same data with the help of report. If it's a normal report, I cannot send it. I will have to convert that into a web service. That's the reason we have the concept of advanced report with web services. For creating any advanced report, also we follow the same step. Create custom report. The task is not different. Task is not sure what went wrong. The system is working really slow. My task is create custom report. That's my task. And this time I'm going to choose advanced report with web services. What I'll do, first I'll choose advanced. And then I will enable as a web service. Yes, you see this. This is an option. Enable as a web service. Now this is my report name. Now what is this report name? Let's say I'll say AutoSum underscore adv underscore viz. Now why I'm putting this? Because I will come to know that this is a report which is there with web services. I'll use the same data source, all active and terminated workers. Now data, you can choose anything, it does not matter. But what will matter here is different things. I can just choose the same fields which I have been using in the different report. There is no problem at all with that. But you will see a different column here. Till the time I put the field, can you identify it? Do you see something different here? When I choose this, you will see. See, it comes in this way. I did not put it automatically. It indicates that this is the name of the field in the XML format. If I just say last name, let's see. See, the name is different this time. When this report will be created, it will automatically be converted into an XML format. I'm not using gender. Let me use it, because what will happen? I'll have a lot of unwanted data. I'll add a filter, not a problem. Let me add independence or job profile only. I'll not add much data. I just wanted to show you. This is just an example. And let me add a filter as well. The filter, you will not see any changes basically. Now everything is fine. But once I will save this report, you will see there is some kind of error. Let's see what is that error. It's error and alert. This name is big compensation underscore grade. Let's see what is this error. Go column heading missing. I'll talk about that first. Look into this alert. It says enter a web service alias, that is 16 characters of viewer. Longer name will increase the RAS output file size. Basically, when you convert any report into a web service, it becomes as a report as a service. That is also a part of cloud computing. It gets converted into XML format, or you can say that it gets converted into a web service. Any web service, you will see it will be in an XML format. And the error which you are getting. This error you are getting which says group column, heading override or group column, heading must be specified. What is this group column heading? Basically, I'm using a related business object. Job profile is a related business object here. I have to convert this also into XML format, otherwise this will not go in my report and I'll keep on getting the error. If it is a primary business object, it gets automatically converted. But if I am not, if I'm using a related business object, I'll have to add it here. When I click on this, I'll automatically get that. See job profile. And the name automatically comes in this XML format. Now if I'm going to save it, I'll just get an alert, or that also I may not get it. But when I run this report, there is nothing which is changing on the UI. Everything will look very similar, you see. First time, last time, and the compensation grade. There is no change at all. On the UI, we will not be able to see anything, any difference. But why do we create it? We will edit it and show you some more things which is important, which we have not seen while we were using the normal report. Now this is an advanced report with web services. And this is the tab which I said that we will not look at it now. We will look into when we go into the next report. Now you see it says web services options. Under web services option, there are some things which says enable as a web service, and it is checked because while creating the report, I checked this. And that's the reason you're getting the API version. Now API version basically means that it is the version of software, your application. Workday is currently on version 39. An API is basically your application programming interface, which means the complete structure of this application. The Workday application will be in the version 39. Now, what do we contain in that? It contains all the business objects, all the related fields, all the business processes. Everything is there in this. How exactly it will be represented? It will be represented in the form of XML. If I have to share it with anybody. Now, why do we inform this? Because what happens that after every release, you have released twice in a year. Every 6 months. Now this keeps on changing. And in any new release, there could be potential changes. For example, I'm using first name and last name in version 39. And let's say version 40 comes in. This is just a hypothetical scenario. It is not going to happen, but I'm just saying you. Let's say in version 40, they remove the field as first name and last name. And instead of that, they will put the field as name. If they put something like that, then what will happen, guys? This report will not work because it has now upgraded to 40. And when it will do in 40, it will say that fields are not found. Because that field does not exist anymore in the new version. Workday gives you a backward compatibility. If you see, when you click on this, it will give you the compatibility from version 1. When you go into version 1, you will have the same things which was there in the first application that was launched. And up till now, you see the version 39 has come. It will come again 39.1 or 13.2 or maybe 40, something like that. And Workday keeps the name like this. If you see from version 35, in fact 34, if they started using this 31.1, 32.7.2, 32.2. They keep on updating it and they update the versions also. And what changes are going to happen? You will get in the release notes. Now, how will you access release notes? This is accessible only through Workday community. Now, how will we get access to that? We cannot get access to that unless we work on some of the clients of Workday, or if we work on a Workday project, then you will have a valid license to access Workday community, because that is also not accessible. But don't worry, when you start working on a Workday project, you will get it, because the client, whoever is using it, will definitely share it with you. Or if you work in Workday itself or a partner company there, by default, you will get it. This is the meaning of API version. Then you see this namespace. Now what is this namespace? Basically, it tells us that on Workday server, where is this report stored? It says uncom workday report /. This is the report name. There is a folder of report on Workday server and it gives us the path that if you go on Workday server on this particular folder, you will find this report. Why it is putting in this way? Because Workday will know from where they have to pick the report if they have to use it anywhere else. Then comes, there are multiple options you will see here. It says worksheets enabled for worksheets. Now what will happen? That if you enable this, you will be able to use this as an Excel template also. Then you see enable for Prism. Prism is the analytics part of Workday. It uses AI/ML, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. In case you want your report to be used in Prism Analytics, you can enable it and you see this option. Temporary report. Because we have been given the option of only creating temporary report, we cannot even make any changes to that. It is disabled. These are the uses of any advanced report with web services, guys. Web services is used for analytics for your AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning for your integration. These are the uses of all this type of reports. Now, if I just uncheck this, guys, you will see if I try to enable it, it will give me an error. Select that enable as a web service to enable the report for worksheet. Same goes for Prism. Again, I'm going to get that error because it works only on web services. That's the only part of it. And now, if I go into the columns now, this XL heading would not be there. It's all blank. If this part is not enabled, it is just a report which does not have web services. For that purpose, you have to check this and click on now. On the UI, you will never face any challenges. Now this is alert, that is for the column. 16 characters of viewer. That is fine for us. It will not have any major impact to us. And I'll go ahead and click on now. My report is created. Advanced report with web services is created. I will use this report in the time of integrations. And this report is used in your EIB outbound integrations. It is not used anywhere else but only in your EIB outbound. This is the importance of advanced report with web services. On the UI, you will be able to perform everything as you have used your advanced report. Now this is fine. We have created a web services report. My work is done on this part. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.